Welcome to myabaton.com, where today we are addressing our shoulder PMS. I'm Dr. Abaton, and this is Mr. Abaton, a shadow of your future self. We are doing our One Exercise to Rule 'Em All series, and we are continuing with our shoulder today. I want to show you today the best exercise for the shoulder. So if you only have time or only want to give yourself time for one shoulder exercise to get rid of injury, to prevent injury, and to just be awesome in your shoulder, this would be the exercise, and this is the one that you're going to need to really get the rotator cuff and the muscles strong, as well as some mobility through the shoulder. The problem with the shoulder is oftentimes we don't use the muscles that protect us. So the muscles that protect us the most are the rotator cuff. The rotator cuff is basically 4 muscles that come off your shoulder blade, top here, and the back side of the shoulder blade. And these 4 muscles, they control the movement of your shoulder and stabilize it. As you move throughout your range of motion, up and down and around, these 4 little muscles are working overtime to make sure that you are stable, to make sure you're controlled, and make sure you're not slopping around so you ruin other structures like your labrum. This exercise will address that rotator cuff, but it also is going to provide mobility. Oftentimes our posture gets bad. And as our posture gets bad, we slouch in, our shoulders roll in, we get pinching, we get pain. Also puts our labrum and our other tendons in trouble for impingement. We're going to address that as well. So we're going to get stretching. It'll provide a posture component to it and get your shoulder blades back and get you in this really nice chest up, shoulder blades back, so you can walk around like this all the time. Okay, so let's jump into the shoulder and how this exercise works. Okay, so we call this the Statue of Liberty position that we're going to be going into. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with an exercise band. Now I'll also show you how to do it with a dumbbell, but we're going to start with an exercise band. And what you're going to do is the shoulder that you're working, so we're going to be working the right shoulder to begin with, you're going to take your other thumb, and you're going to put that into your opposite hip. Okay, then from there, you're going to straighten out your elbow, and as you straighten out your elbow, you're going to rotate that thumb up to a Statue of Liberty position. Okay, Statue of Liberty being holding it up, thumbs up, and you're going to come back, and as you come back, you're going to bring this arm back just as far as you can to really activate then your rhomboids and your middle trap to pull your shoulder blades back. Okay, and then you're bringing this back down, elbow straight, which is a big thing, because if you start bending the elbow, you're just going to be working your triceps. We don't want to work the triceps on the back of the arm. We want the shoulder and the rotator cuff. Now as you come back down, you rotate that thumb back down into the hip. Again, the rotation piece is so critical. You have to rotate that thumb out and up, because if you don't, then you're missing out on the rotator cuff, which is the major point of this exercise to stabilize the shoulder. And so you're coming back, you're rotating your thumb from down to up, and from up to down. As you go through this, you're pulling your arm back, so you're stretching out the front through your pec, and you're doing that stretch by activating the muscles. So it's this really active stretch as you strengthen rotator cuff, shoulder blade muscles, rhomboids, middle trap, upper trap, deltoid. You're nailing it all in this one. And that's why this is such a good exercise. Here's the trick with it though. You may already have shoulder pain. So if you do, you can modify this to lower. So you don't have to bring it up so high, which is why this exercise is so awesome, because you can just bring that down and across, and you can bring it up as high as you feel like your shoulder will do it. You don't push through pain, you push to pain, not through it. So you bring this back, you go up as high as your shoulder will tolerate based on your injury, and then you work on it. And as time goes on, you can maybe get this a little higher, and you bring it up to eventually where you're to the Statue of Liberty position, which will bring in the upper trap and deltoid better. So that's a beautiful way to modify this exercise. Okay? If you don't have a band at home, you can still do this. So you can use, I have just these universal weights here. You can use some weights like this, or you can also use a milk jug with water in it. Don't use milk because, well, I guess you could use milk, just don't leave it out. It'll curdle and then get really heavy. You can use a weight just like this, same thing. You go through the same motion and pull on that weight, rotate the thumb up, get that back. Okay, now you can make this a little harder if you keep your back straight and just lean forward slightly. And as you lean forward, then you'll get more of that gravity resistance. Because we don't have the band now, then you can use that gravity. Now you don't want to hurt your low back, but you can do this a little bit to get that gravity working on that shoulder and working those posterior or these back muscles a little bit better. So that way you can get that nice motion. Again, you're rotating thumbs down to thumbs up, and you can do it with a dumbbell. You can do it with any kind of weight that you can find around the house. If you're really weak and you're just, or really painful, you can start with something as light as a can of soup and just start using some Campbell's chicken noodle soup. That's what to get you going. And then you can eat it right after, and which will then power you up for your next exercise session. You want to do 10 to 15 reps or until you're tired, and you'll want to do both arms when you do this one. So make sure you're standing up nice and tall, good posture, so you're nice and straight when you do this. Unless you are doing a little bit of a lean forward, you're up nice and tall, you're rotating through, you're working both arms, and you're just getting a fantastic shoulder workout, making sure that you're pulling that arm back, you're getting a stretch, you're getting strengthened through all the major components, and then it gives you this really fantastic stabilization. So when you're playing sports, when you're doing things active, your rotator cuff is ready to go so you don't get injured, and it helps you prevent those injuries as well as recover from rotator cuff surgery, rotator cuff injuries, that kind of stuff. If you have had surgery, don't do this until your doctor says. Thanks for watching today. We hope this exercise is super helpful for you. It will be if you do it. Go ahead and jump on our channel or our website, myabaton.com, where you can look up all kinds of videos as well as one exercise to rule them all. We've got it for the shoulder, the neck, the hip, the knee, all these exercises to help you know one powerhouse exercise as well as other exercises to help you rehab and even just to prevent injury in the future. So go ahead and like and subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you thought of the exercise and how well it worked your shoulder. So we'll catch you on the flippy flop on the next exercise.